Let me, can you hear me? Okay, perfect. Yeah, because I don't know where my other earphones are, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like, I took like a little 20-minute nap, so you know, like when you take one of those, I'm like, I hate doing that so much. But like, not want to go to sleep, so I was like, oh my goodness. Okay, it was just like a long day and a long week. Can't wait to get into it, because I feel like when stuff like this happens, I feel like I'm always like, where am I wrong and where did I go wrong, and am I the bad person in it? I don't know. But it was Thanksgiving week, and I'm kind of upset with myself. I know I had a so my plan was for that day was to spend time with Mateo, and like I was gonna order takeout, and like I think I had mentioned last time that I asked if and I wasn't going to, and then like last minute they ended up coming because her boyfriend were over and then here, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure. I'm just upset with myself because I had a plan and I didn't stick to it. Instead, I went a route that I didn't want to stress myself over, and I ended up stressing about it because I ended up getting into an argument. So I'm like, is it every time do I have to keep my mouth shut when I don't agree with something? Like, that's how I feel with these like people in my circle, that the minute I speak up or the minute I talk about my boundaries or like my needs and wants, it's like an argument every single time. And I'm just like so tired of it. I'm just like, okay, like, am I supposed to just be everyone's punching bag and like allow the type of like behavior that, whether he does it or this person does it, but it's like every time I speak up or say something, I'm just like, oh my God, there's like an issue. And then now I'm the problem. Now I'm the issue. Now I'm the one that like, oh, okay, like, what are you talking about? Or you're overreacting or yada yada, you know? And I literally have text like, hey, because it is more sensitive to other things. So like, I don't want sick, you know? So I had already let him know like, hey, so and so like, I'm disinfecting because he's sick, right? Because he wanted to drop off some baby things. So before he dropped it off, I had already let him know that I was like, we were getting sick, yada, not me, but like, I'm letting you know, He didn't care. He literally said, he's like, oh, I don't care. Everyone's getting sick, right? Sick. I mean, I've been disinfecting. I was fine. I was never sick until the last week. She had COVID or something. Told me that she got sick because she had missed a court. She wasn't able to go because she was sick. And then and on Thanksgiving, he was telling me the tea. I was just like what he was saying wasn't matching with what he had told me before. Do I believe that it was intentional? No, I don't. I just feel like the argument overall was that I don't feel like there was no consideration there when it came to him and his surroundings and people, whether they're sick or not, and him not caring because he was like, oh, well, I wasn't near her because she was already like, oh, I'm going to take a COVID test. I'm going to take a COVID test, right? So he already knew that knowledge, but he was like, oh no, just stay six feet away from me. But I told him, I was like, do you know how people get sick? Like, you guys share the same bathroom. You guys share everything the same. Do you know where she coughed? Do you know where she sneezed? Like, I'm not trying to be anal, but it's like he was trying to justify it by like saying that just because he wasn't around her, that there was no way that he would be able to get sick and then get me sick, right? And I told him, I was like, I just feel like you weren't, like, I'm pregnant, like I have to be low risk, like this is my last month, like I literally have to be low risk in order to give birth with a midwife. Like, he wasn't understanding that. And he's like, and then 4, but we were not sick no more when Thanksgiving. Like, we were not sick anymore. So I'm like, why would I tell them we were sick when we're not sick no more? Because he was like saying that I was being a hypocrite or contradicting myself about the sick or about the flu or whatever. And then, no, that's not even the worst part. He literally, so he was cooking. He ended up bringing mac and cheese, but he cooked it here. And he started saying that I made him feel that he has germs now, and that I had to throw everything away that he has given me. He literally said, he's like, throw everything away that I have given you, since you think I have germs. And I'm like, you're literally making it about yourself and not even seeing the bigger picture. I'm just telling you, like, hey, like, if you know knowledge, or like, hey, so and so, my roommate is sick, like, I just feel like it's just courtesy to like tell the other person, like, or the people you're hanging out with, like, oh, so and so is sick. And whether now you're allowing them to make that decision if you want to like have them hang out with you or not. But instead you made that decision for me. Like, I'm not saying that, I don't know, like, it was just like it was just like a mind-blowing moment. He stayed quiet when I was telling him. And then I told him, I was like, you don't have to get mad if I'm telling you something. It's just that I'm pregnant and I have a 2-year-old. And like, when we were sick, or when they were sick and I wasn't even sick, I let you know ahead of time. Like, hey, like, I can't hang out with you. Or like, hey, like, when you bring the stuff, like, so-and-so is sick, or this person's sick. Like, I was thinking about you and your health. And if you don't care about your health, or you don't care about me, that says a lot more about you than me. I just feel like you're not taking my situation under consideration, and you didn't let me decide whether I wanted to hang out with you or not. It's because, so that day I made a comment. I'm like, well, you make me feel like I need to clean now, because it's just like, did she have COVID or not? Right? And then he got mad, and he was like, if she had COVID, she wouldn't have seen her judge, because the day before Thanksgiving, he was with his roommate the whole entire day. And I was like, well, I don't know. Like, I don't know how that works. I'm just asking for my own precaution. But he made it about himself, and he felt attacked. But it's like, bro, all you had to say was like, oh shoot, my bad. Like, I didn't think about it. My apologies. Like, she doesn't have COVID, and she's not sick anymore, or whatever. I don't know, whatever the case may be. But like, just kind of take initiative and apologize for like, hey, I'm sorry I didn't let you know that she could potentially be sick, right? So that was the argument. I ended up texting him because they left, and I was like, oh heck no, like, I apologize the fight before. I apologize when he got mad that I took like an hour at the store, right? And I was like, hey, I'm so sorry, like, my bad for taking an hour at the store, and you being with Mattel. Like, Mattel is my responsibility, whatever. We ended up not making up, but it took us weeks to kind of hang out. Literally, barely, really, like, barely. Now we hung out that day. And then I texted him after they left, because we were arguing. He tells the kids, like, let's go, kids. Right? They ended up leaving. They didn't even say bye to Mattel or nothing, which that's part of like our childhood. Like, you get into an argument with someone and you kind of leave. Like, he just always ends up walking away from the situation instead of actually like analyzing like what's going on and having a real conversation while he's still there. Instead, he got up and left. And then I was like, oh heck no. So I texted him and I was like, I'm not apologizing this time, and I shouldn't have to apologize for my own well-being and for my beliefs. At the end of the day, I'm the one that's pregnant, and I'm the one that has to watch out for my surroundings. Like, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I just feel like it should have been courteous out of you to tell me if she was sick or not, like I did with you. when my household was sick. I'm like, if you don't know something, educate yourself. If you don't know how it is, educate yourself. And he took it as like I'm talking to him like he's stupid. So then I told him, I was like, you know what? If we cannot be around each other, that's fine. I'll accept it. But like, don't make me feel bad for having to like address something like this. Or like, don't be mad at me for not even doing this. So I ended up blocking him because it's like, I have to think, I'm like, I shouldn't have to be worried about your feelings when if it's not reciprocated. He ended up texting me from 2 separate numbers, right? And then he was like, he literally texted me. He was like, COVID is fake news, but you believe whatever you want to believe, you weirdo. Okay, now you're calling me names. And in my head, I'm like, no, I'm not allowing this behavior. Like the fact, and I was like, you think that I'm going to allow you to be around my kids? If you do not care about me being sick while or getting me sick while being pregnant, what makes you think that I'm going to allow you to be around my newborn? If you're not even taking consideration of your surroundings now, and you're getting upset with me because I caught on to the conversation of like the events and stuff, right? He knows my situation, like overall, and the fact that he just like I don't know, is willing to kind of stress me out even more. I'm just like so shook. I'm so shook. And I'm just like, you know what? It's okay. Like, I'm just so, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm upset with myself because I allowed them to come over. It just sucks. Like, it really just sucks, honestly. Like, it's sad. I'm just like, the minute I speak up about something or my beliefs, it's always like going like, instead of actually someone taking the time to really understand me or where I'm coming from. And that to me just, and I'm going to start crying because I'm just like, to me, it's not like a small thing. Like, to me, it's like, he already knew the situation, or he already knows that I was like, I want to enjoy the last month of my pregnancy. Like, do you think I want to, whether it's fake or not, whether you believe if COVID is real or not, it's like we could have two different opinions or two different types of beliefs, but if you don't respect where I'm coming from, like, what type of relationship or relationship is that? So that was that. Then, oh my God, that called me yesterday. I don't know for what. I have not spoken to that lady in the whole year. And she leaves me a voicemail, but it didn't finish. I don't know if it got cut off, but her voicemail didn't finish. I haven't heard from her for a whole entire year. Not even that. She didn't even call my son for his birthday. And last Christmas, I didn't hear from her either. So it's just like, right now, my head is like, if I am such a bad person, if you guys have this image of me of being like pushy or like telling you guys what to do, like, why are you guys contacting me? Or like, why do you guys want to be in my life? And it's like, I'm put in this position where I'm just like, you guys just want to satisfy your needs. Somehow, some way, I don't know, whatever her conscience is, her wanting to reach out to me, like, I don't know if he was having a bad day or not. I don't know, but it's like, how is that fair for me to take all that and be somebody and like be their punching bag and then just hit me up whenever they feel like hitting me up or treating me good? But I can't say anything because it's like, it's so wrong, because now it turns into an argument. See, she doesn't understand the severity of like my situation because I haven't spoken to her, or I haven't talked to her. I had no communication with her in almost 2 years. But it's like, in what right mind do you think it's okay to just contact me out of nowhere and pretend like everything's okay. And then like, you cannot just treat me good when you feel like it and then treat me bad when you, because I don't do that. I don't feel like I do. And I even told him, like, in every single argument I've or disagreement I've had with him, I try to make it known that I'm not trying to tell him what to do. I'm not like, it's just, I'm just confused. I'm just so confused. And then not and then neither of them ever take initiative to apologize. Like, I'm just like in the middle. I'm already the middle child. Like, and I kind of like, it's not that I'm like stressing about it. It was just more frustrating because it's just like, and I say this about my current situation, like, if you have an issue with, like, leave me alone, right? Like, if you're gonna constantly bash me for something, like, leave me alone. And that's how I feel about them. Like, just leave me alone. I honestly don't know what they think in their mind, that I'm like, they could just toss me around like they want, and then they come back thinking that everything's okay. Yeah, for sure. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like, and I did think about it, I was like, for so long, I never said anything. I never said anything to them. I let them treat me however they wanted to treat me, whether I was going through something or not. Like, I allowed them to treat me because I always felt like, well, I'm not going to give them my energy, right? Like, I'm not going to give them my time or day to deal with whatever they're going through, and then they're taking it out on me, whether, whatever. But the minute I do speak up, I'm still the bad person. I told myself, I'm like, I have kids now. And it's like, we're not kids no more. We're adults. If you can't have a conversation with me without getting up and leaving and walking away, or bashing me, or telling me that I'm wrong about this or that, but you can't even own up to your own stuff, then that's not something I want my kids growing up seeing. One, and then two, I don't need my kids listening or hearing other people call me names. And if you think that that's okay, then you're just not fit to be in my life, to say the least, honestly. I'm not that girl anymore. I can't be that girl anymore. I can't be that girl that these people just walk me like they want to walk me. Because it's like, I have these two little kids. They're going to look up to the lifestyle that I allow, or this behavior, let alone, like, I'm trying to figure it out here. It's like, feels so like, I don't know. I think it's honestly so like so much anger too, because it's like, when is enough? Like, when do you guys get tired of doing me dirty or making me feel a certain way? Because clearly my feelings don't matter in their eyes. And I'm just like, so like, I'm just like, psh, like, everything's just like, so that's why I got a little bit upset with myself because of Thanksgiving. And I'm just like, why did I do that to myself? Knowing how I know that how things can be. Did I know that it was going to lead up to that argument? No, absolutely not. But it just like, it really, I guess it could be like disappointment too, of like, I know part of me, and I think we did speak or touch base on it last week, was that like, it is a lonely time for some people. And I know part of me like didn't want to feel that. So I know that that could be also another reason, but why I did end up choosing this route instead of this route. But it was just a very frustrating very frustrating week, honestly. I'm not even gonna lie.